Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my WWE Monday Night Raw review for December 25th, 2017, the Christmas edition of Monday Night Raw. This was the first time that Monday Night Raw ever went live on Christmas, mainly because USA forced them to, because USA wanted live content on their network, because they knew that a lot of people are going to be watching TV, and I don't know how this did in the ratings. I don't really imagine that Monday Night Raw did all that good in the ratings because it's Christmas. A lot of people are usually doing stuff on Christmas. Live attendance wise, it looked very well, so that was a positive. And another weird thing that the USA Network did, I remember I had originally heard that they were doing this because I was on my phone and stuff. I heard that Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, when I review it, the first hour were both commercial free, and I didn't really know why at the time, but apparently USA Network had a lot of limited commercials on their shows, so that's what affected Monday Night Raw and SmackDown from being commercial free, which kind of made the first hour of Raw drag a little bit because it was commercial free, and since I have a DVR, I couldn't fast forward it, so I couldn't imagine watching this show live because you pretty much had to watch an extra, some extra time of Raw because you actually had to watch like a full hour just straight without any commercial breaks or anything like that. So I can imagine that could be pretty annoying. It did kind of, and you could definitely see that the WWE kind of filled up had a lot of filler in the first hour because it was a commercial-free Raw. So they definitely had some filler. So let's just get right into this. We had Corey Graves, Michael Cole, and Booker T on commentary for this show. Booker T seemed very out of it, especially the first hour. I don't know what happened. The show was very weird the first hour because of the lack of commercials. So John Cena returned. He gave a kid his shirt and hat because so that way he could be updated on his John Cena merchandise. He cut a typical Christmas promo. Talking about how this was the first live Christmas and how he was very thankful for the holidays and all that stuff. And then he gets interrupted by Elias, and Elias pretty much says that usually he gets interrupted when he performs, but so he wanted to make sure that he interrupted John Cena, and he wanted to perform his song. And while the people were doing this, people were chanting CM Punk because it was in Chicago. And then Elias says, I can guarantee you that they will not be chanting that CM Punk will not be interrupting me. And then John Cena said that they love their Chicago boys. So they actually did kind of, bring up CM Punk doing the CM Punk chant, which was kind of cool because they don't normally do that. So Elias starts performing his song. He trashes Chicago. John Cena said that he shouldn't do that because it's Christmas. You shouldn't trash Chicago. So Elias wants another chance. And he sends a phony song and tries to get John Cena to sing along with him, but Elias cheap shots him, challenges Cena to a match. They have a match. I thought they had a fairly solid match. It was pretty much a typical Cena match, though, where he gets destroyed pretty much the whole match, and then he does his comeback. Elias, though, looked pretty strong in the match, but really that doesn't mean anything, because anybody can look strong in a match against John Cena, and they still come up short. Ask all the other names he's buried throughout the years. Not saying that he buried Elias, I'm just saying. But yeah, Elias looked pretty strong in the match, and John Cena, though, predictably won with the attitude adjustment, and yeah, pretty much Cena was there. I have a feeling he was probably there to help boost ratings for Raw, because they knew it wasn't going to do that well. What kind of didn't make any sense about this was the last time we saw John Cena, he was teaming up with SmackDown to try to take down Raw, and they didn't even bring that up really all that much, so that was kind of stupid. Then it showed a video package for Samoa Joe about his destruction as of late. I thought it was a very good video package. Kurt Angle's backstage, and Jason Jordan comes up, and they have their first Christmas together. And then Seth Rollins comes up, and Kurt Angle realizes that they both want to face Samoa Joe, but lately the Bar has prevented them from being able to get to Samoa Joe. So they put them in a match together against the Bar for the Raw Tag Team titles. Now, mainly they did this because we found out that Dean Ambrose's injury last week was legit. He really did get hurt, and they're using the whole backstage incident to kind of, say it. Apparently he's going to be out of action for maybe, I think they said They were saying he's going to be out of action for 9 months, so that looks like he's going to miss WrestleMania, which kind of sucks because I expected them to finally start to tease the feud between Ambrose and Rollins and have that match happen at WrestleMania, but it didn't go down that way. But I actually think they may still do that because technically Ambrose's shoulder didn't start hurting until Rollins hit the dive during that 6-man tag team match when it was them and Jordan facing off against the Bar and Samoa Joe. So I think that Ambrose could turn heel and blame Seth Rollins for being the reason he got injured. I hope that happens, but we have to wait and see. We have 9 months to decide. In 9 months, Rollins could be on SmackDown and Ambrose could be on Raw, so we don't really know what's going to happen. So, but pretty much Kurt Angle puts Jordan and Rollins in a match together where they challenge the Bar for the Raw Tag Team titles. They both don't want to do it. Jordan doesn't want to be diminished down to a tag team title scene, and Rollins doesn't really want to team with Jordan because of how well it went last time. But eventually they agree when they find out they're going to face off for the Raw Tag Team titles. And then Roman Reigns is right behind Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle says that he has Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental Championship tonight. So, overall, I thought this backstage segment, I really think this backstage segment was all that great because you could say it was oddly structured because of the lack of commercials, and I'm kind of like, what? Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins are going to be a tag team? Because it looks like they because now it looks like they're going to have Jordan turn heel and Seth Rollins instead of Ambrose. Because obviously they have to rewrite the show now because Ambrose is hurt now. So I'm not really a fan of Dean Ambrose, Jason Jordan, and Seth Rollins being a team. I'll talk about that more later. So, but then we had the next match. It was the Brian Kendrick with Jack Gallagher versus Hideo Itami. Kendrick cuts a promo pretty much talking about how he's going to teach Hideo Itami a lesson. And the Brian Kendrick, I thought that was kind of stupid that it was a commercial-free Raw, but yet they still give Kendrick a jobber entrance. That was kind of dumb. But this match I thought was a pretty solid match. I thought Hideo Itami was pretty over. And he hits the GTS, which got a huge pop. I'm assuming because it was in Chicago, and obviously since CM Punk also did the GTS, and he's the one that really made the move famous in WWE and things like that. So that's why it got a huge ovation. But I didn't really hear a lot of CM Punk chants when he did it. But I like Hideo Itami. I like his spot right now in the roster. It actually, I don't know what's going to happen with Hideo Itami in the Cruiserweight division. Like I said, I think he should win the Cruiserweight Championship at WrestleMania by squashing Enzo Amore, but we'll have to wait and see if that's going to happen. And then, I like this match. It was good. Then we had Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Mickie James backstage, and this becomes a theme throughout the night where Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel sing Christmas carols, wishing people Merry Miss, and no one really seemed depressed about it. It was just lame holiday humor. They did it with Goldust, and they gave Goldust Santa's Little Helper, which was a movie that The Miz and Paige starred in, and Goldust gave it to Titus Worldwide, and he breathed in Titus O'Neil's face, and Titus O'Neil freaked out, which I thought was kind of funny. Later on in the night, though, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel got squashed by Braun Strowman when Strowman beat them when Strowman hit the running power slam on Bo Dallas, and he just completely destroyed him, building up Braun Strowman for the triple threat match at the Royal Rumble for the WWE Universal Championship. And overall, I enjoyed that beatdown. I thought that was fairly nice. And the Christmas comedy was kind of lame. Then we had, going back up a little bit. Then we had Sasha Banks, Mickie James, and Bayley versus Absolution. I thought this match was fine. I definitely saw improvement in Mandy Rose. I thought she improved in this match. Sonya Deville really not all that much. But Absolution wins when Paige hits the Rampage on Bayley. But overall, I thought this match actually was pretty decent. It put over Absolution. I kind of wish they would have done more because Absolution's kind of starting to feel at the point where they're just there. They're not really doing anything really. And then that's kind of how they felt on Raw this week. Or at least on this show. So, that's kind of how I felt about that. And then Samoa Joe gets interviewed, and he talks about how he took out Dean Ambrose and he prevented him from being with the people that he loved, which he looked right at Renee Young, and he said that tonight he's going to eviscerate Roman Reigns and take the Intercontinental Championship from him. And then we had the 25th anniversary of Raw video package. The 25th anniversary is coming up on January 22nd. I'm very excited for it. I think this is going to be a big show. From what I understand, they're going to have this show in 2 arenas. One's going to be in Barclays Center, and one's going to be somewhere else in New York where the early episodes of Monday Night Raw used to take place, which is cool. Later on in the night, they showed like a moment. They showed like a past moment from Monday Night Raw, and that's when the 1-2-3 Kid defeated Razor Ramon in the hugest probably the biggest upset ever in WWE history, which I think is a pretty big moment. So yeah, overall, I am excited for the 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw. And then we had Kane versus Heath Slater with Rhino ringside. Rhino said the way he's going to toughen up Heath Slater is to have him face Kane. So he tries to slap Heath Slater around and tries to hype him up, but then Kane just beats him with a choke slam, and then he lays out Rhino with a choke slam. So I did like in this show that they made Braun Strowman and Kane look strong going into the WWE Universal Championship match at at the Royal Rumble. But yeah, I kind of wish that they would have had Strowman and Kane have some sort of interaction on this show, because I think that would have been awesome. And then we had Kurt Hawkins open challenge. He gets squashed by Finn Balor. He's now Owen 147. But I did like this here. You know, I am enjoying the losing streak storyline with Kurt Hawkins. And I'm enjoying how they're kind of slowly building up Finn Balor. I kind of wish they would give Finn Balor something. Obviously, they were supposed to throw him in the Universal title picture, but they claimed that he wasn't over, so it didn't happen. So we'll have to wait and see. Bray Wyatt comes out to cut a promo, but before he can really cut his promo, he gets attacked by Woken Matt Hardy, and then Woken Matt Hardy starts evilly laughing. This was awesome. I loved it. It was great. Then the Bar gives each other Christmas presents backstage. They're upset that they have to defend their Raw Tag Team titles tonight, and they give each other like a broken Dean Ambrose doll that has a broken shoulder, and then they give each other Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan action figures, and they both want the Jason Jordan one, and I thought that was funny, and I thought the Bar nailed this segment. It was a little bit hokey, but I thought the Bar made this segment work, and I thought it was funny. Then we had a Miracle on 34th Street fight, the Zo Train versus Cedric Alexander, Akira Tozawa, and Mustafa Ali. It was a pretty lame Christmas match. It was pretty much just a typical 6-man tag team match, which didn't make any sense if there was no DQs, but Cedric Alexander gets the win when he hits, I think, Ariya Daivari with the lumbar check. I forget who he hit it on. It was either Ariya Daivari or Drew Gulak. I don't remember. And they announced that next week Enzo Amore is going to defend the Cruiserweight Championship against Cedric Alexander, which I'm pretty interested in that matchup. So, yeah. I was doing a live reactions for Raw because I heard Raw was from this past week was worth a live reaction. And then later on, he goes backstage, and Nia Jax and him are about to kiss under the mistletoe, but they get interrupted by Alexa Bliss, which I was kind of disappointed with because I wanted to see Drew Gulak interrupt him because it's usually pretty funny when Drew Gulak interrupts him. I'm kind of disappointed that Drew Gulak didn't really talk or do anything this week. So, yeah. Then we had Roman Reigns gets interviewed, and he said that he's going to get revenge on Dean Ambrose for him. And then we have the Intercontinental Championship match where Roman Reigns defended the title against Samoa Joe. I love this match. It was really good. It was a nice brawling match. This was probably the highlight of the show. And, yeah, Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe pretty much just get into a huge brawl. And they both, highlights included when Samoa Joe hit a splash and the Insecurity in the corner, and Roman Reigns hit a Superman punch, and, Roman Reigns is doing really well in the matchup. He's starting to get a little bit over emotional, so he's beating up Joe in the corner. He shoves the referee, which causes a disqualification, and then he just pretty much beats the crap out of Joe. He throws him into the steps. He hits him in the shoulder with the steps, and he pretty much targets his shoulder. He tries to hit him with the chair while his shoulder's against the post, but Joe escapes, and officials and stuff break up this confrontation. I thought this was awesome. This made Roman Reigns look like a badass, and I obviously thought this made sense for Roman Reigns to want to kill Samoa Joe since he took out Dean Ambrose. So yeah, I'm loving this feud between Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe for the Intercontinental Championship, and I hope that it does eventually lead to Samoa Joe taking the Intercontinental Championship from Roman Reigns, since I don't. They obviously want to have Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble probably and go for the Universal title, and having Samoa Joe is the most believable person to take it from him because he's a badass. I don't think anybody would complain about that. Then Seth Rollins is backstage, and they kind of do a whole tension where Jason Jordan claims that he's better than Dean Ambrose, and it was a pretty lame backstage segment. Then we have Alexa Bliss promo. She pretty much claims that she's the reason why Women's has made all this history, and she says, that whoever wins the Royal Rumble is just gonna lose to her at WrestleMania. Then Asuka comes out and she says that she's gonna enter the Royal Rumble match because nobody's ready for Asuka. Alexa Bliss is frozen in fear. Asuka kicks her head off, and I love this segment, and this made Asuka look really strong. I liked Alexa Bliss's delivery here. It was great. Then we had the main event. It was the Raw Tag Team title match. The Bar defended against Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan. This match I thought was a good match. It was very good back and forth stuff. The Bar got the heat on Seth Rollins for a while, and then eventually Jason Jordan made the hot tag, and they kept beating down Jordan for a while, and the Bar did everything they could to try to win, but Seth Rollins kept preventing them time after time after time. And then eventually, out of nowhere, Jordan hit his elevated neckbreaker on Cesaro for the win, and Jordan and Seth Rollins become the Raw Tag Team Champions. Afterwards, on WWE.com, we didn't see this. Kurt Angle comes out and celebrates with them. And yeah, why? Why are they the Raw Tag Team Champions? It's dumb. I'm not really a fan of this. Obviously, that's probably going to lead to Jason Jordan probably turning on Seth Rollins. But this is just dumb. They shouldn't be the Raw Tag Team Champions. I understand it's sometimes fun to have like a thrown-together tag team be the Raw Tag Team Champions, but I have no interest at all in seeing Rollins and Jordan be the Raw Tag Team Champions, so I'm not interested in that. But that was Raw. Overall, Raw was, I thought, actually a decent show. It was pretty much a typical Christmas holiday show, but it did have some decent stuff on it, like Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. The Alexa Bliss stuff. The women's match wasn't too bad. It had a decent cruiserweight title match. John Cena returned on this show, and I did like the stuff they did with Braun Strowman and Kane to build them up. But it pretty much kind of was a typical holiday show. So if I had to rate this show, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I thought it was decent. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video on this channel, you guys will get the notification for it. Make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers and On the Talkinator channel. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.